Hey guys! It's been a minute again. Hey guys, it's Megan, and I've missed you so much. I know it's been like a month, I feel like. I can't even remember the last time I posted a video. Yeah, it's been bad. You know, there's so many excuses I can give you, but 2020 is a new year. I'm gonna set new goals, and we're just gonna keep going with this. I'm excited. I miss YouTube. I miss you guys. I miss talking to the camera. But anyway, so the last video of the year that I wanted to bring to you guys, let's just get right into it. So I've been working on this for about a month now. What I did was I found pictures from each decade starting in 1919, and I recreated a photo from each decade starting then. So I did 1919, 1929, 1939, and so on. So I thought, let's celebrate 100 years of the nines starting in 1919. It's about to be a new decade. Let's give the nines its time. Some of them aren't exactly like I want them, and some of them they didn't turn out perfectly, but I think you'll get the idea, and I think you'll get the gist from it. All right, so let's just get right into it. So the first picture we have is 1919 Grand Central Station. Obviously, this has changed quite a bit since 1919, but really cool old photo. And then here's the 2019 version. I think they both look really cool. Grand Central still is an amazing, beautiful place. Obviously, very much surrounded by buildings and streetlights and cars and stuff like that. But it is cool to see old 1919 New York, old 1919 Grand Central. So that's the oldest picture that we have in this collection, and it looks really cool. So the 1929 picture I found is of Federal Hall. This is at Wall Street and Broad Street. It's actually a cool little place I didn't even know existed, where like no traffic really goes. But this was by far the hardest picture to get and the worst picture in comparison. I don't like it. I don't like how it turned out. First of all, there's like a bunch of scaffolding that is blocking the right side of it, and it just doesn't, I don't like it. And second of all, there's like a huge security thing on the left side, so I couldn't even get the right angle because I couldn't get over there. So I was not a fan of trying to recreate this picture. Plus, I went when it was like super busy and like the Christmas tree was up, which was gorgeous. But no, this just did not turn out how I wanted to. So this is by far the worst recreation that I did out of the whole thing. But you get the picture, the 1929 version versus the 2019 version. So the third picture we have is the Brooklyn Bridge 1939. So the 1939 skyline obviously looks way different from the 2019 skyline. So it's interesting to kind of see the two different versions of this. I love the Brooklyn Bridge, so I'm always on there. I'm always getting shots of the city. I didn't even have to recreate it because I already had it in my library of photos. There you go, side by side, 1939, 2019 versions of the Brooklyn Bridge. So this was one of the first ones that I actually really liked that I recreated, was Times Square from 1949 versus 2019. I worked really hard to get this one to look pretty accurate. I had fun recreating that one because I had a lot of space to recreate it. There wasn't a building in the way, there wasn't traffic or streetcars in the way. So that was cool. That was an easy one to recreate. This was another actually really easy one to recreate, was the Guggenheim. This is a picture of the Guggenheim in 1959, and then 2019, really not much of a difference, which I was surprised. It's just interesting that they were taken so far apart and yet they look super similar. Like the landscape around it, the architecture around it hasn't really changed. And that was also another really easy one to get because it's right on a street corner and I just took it from the same angle. The next one we have is the Flatiron Building from 1969. I don't know when they took this. I don't know how there was like no traffic there. It looks like it may have been either like, I think it was probably really early in the morning or something. And this was also another hard one to recreate because where they took it was where a lot of traffic is. And so I like had to run back and forth in a crosswalk to get this picture. And another thing, everything's under construction. The Flatiron Building is also under construction, so there's a bunch of scaffolding there, and it just doesn't look as pretty as it normally does. And then this was another fun one, 1979 Macy's. I thought this was interesting because, again, the architecture looks very similar as it did back in 1979, but the cars and the people look very different, just how they're dressed and the style. So that one was really fun to recreate, and also very difficult to recreate because there's hordes of people everywhere. There you go, 1979 versus 2019, looking at 34th Street. And then this was another one of my favorite ones to recreate was, I'm gonna call it the Majestic Theatre. I had to kind of figure out where this was. It was from like the crosswalk on 8th Avenue and 44th Street. It was weird. That one was like very difficult. Again, I had to walk back and forth in the crosswalk to get that picture. I use my iPhone because it just takes pictures way more quickly. Obviously the cars and everything look way different from 1989, which is kind of cool again to see that. I thought it was cool that in 89 they were playing Phantom of the Opera, and in 2019 they're doing the same thing. So obviously 30 years later, you can see how timeless something is like that. 1989 versus 2019. Okay, and then this was actually the saddest one I recreated, but I thought I'd do an homage, of course, to the Twin Towers. So I did 1999 because in my timeline, that would have been the last time you would have seen them. So this is a picture of the Brooklyn Bridge and the Twin Towers skyline from 1999. And then 2019 with the new One World Trade Center that has taken the place of the Twin Towers. So yeah, so 1999 versus 2019. And then our last one that we have is 2009 versus 2019, 10-year difference. I couldn't really find a great photo, so I just took this one of Central Park. It's right by Central Park, and I recreated it. So yeah, that's my video for you guys. I thought it would be kind of fun to do that and go out and explore. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Of course, I appreciate all your support. Thank you again for an amazing 2019, for sticking with me these past few months, and I can't wait to see you guys next year in 2020. So happy New Year, guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.